Wayden, you said, what is the most amount of campaigns I've run at once? Some people run multiple, and it sounds a little crazy. It is, in the best way. Um, for about 6 months, I ran 3 a week. That's not true. Sometimes it was 3 a week. I ran 2 a week, and one was every other week. And uh, it was mostly to see if I could do it. So since the beginning with my campaigns, um after I kind of got started and got my feet wet, once I started down the campaign road with like a group, I knew I wanted to do a custom world, a custom game, and design everything. And I really like the process of sort of creating something and testing it out every week with a group and sort of seeing their feedback and adjusting. And I really enjoy that. So every single session that I run is unique, brand new. I've never run it before. There's something in it somewhere that I've never tried before. And initially, I was just running one campaign a week, and then the opportunity came up to run a second one. And so I did that, and I noticed that as much as it felt like, oh no, this will be impossible to do, there were just more creative opportunities. There were just more ways to sort of, test and try and iterate on these ideas. And even some ideas that worked in one, I could take it and mix it and remix it and put it into the better context. I've never repeated sessions, but I'll use ideas back and forth. And that worked for a while. And then I had this like nagging thought where I was like, I wonder if that would happen again with a third. I wonder if I could keep getting these positive returns on this process by doing a third. And I also had, it was like a everything was different. It was like going to be like a 2-player game every other week. And I was like, let's use experience points. I've never run with those before. And it was going to be an urban game. Let's set it in this city. It was a more episodic. It was kind of a fun. There were lots of things that were different about it. We ran that for a while, and it was fun. I liked it. Yeah, I have different groups. So now I only run 2 a week, barring scheduling conflicts, which seem to happen all the time sometimes. But that's everybody's game, I think, to some extent. Um, I think it's worth it to give it a shot if you enjoy the creative aspect of being a dungeon master. It's worth trying to see what your carrying capacity is or can be, and you can't know it unless you try. If it's at all interesting, I would encourage people to give it a shot, even if it's just, I'm going to run a couple of games this week, and maybe they don't have to be campaigns. You don't have to start up a commitment. Uh, maybe I'm one of the weird ones that kind of finds that process invigorating. Because yeah, I don't really plan out very much. I have sort of vague ideas and an outline, but I plan a session, run a session each week, and that's just how I do it. Honestly, I think I probably was excited to get a second game going a week just to deal with those conflicts of scheduling. That way, if a game wasn't going to work out for some reason, I'd have a second game to fall back on. So I was always running something